Welcome back to a brand new episode of Cosmic Confessions. I'm your host, CrashLit, and today I'm super excited to be joined by Glow Moji's first baseman, JoeMoji Burke, the guy known for his pink mustache. How you doing today, Joe?
Doing great, Crash. How are you?
Good, just excited to have you on. This is one that I've been excited about, especially just, all the records you've been shattering, just both in home run derby as well as just how you stand out for the stash. So, really excited to do this interview with you and really get to help allow the fans to really get to know your story. And before we get any further into the interview with JoeMoji, be sure to subscribe to the podcast. We're on Apple, Spotify, and all the other audio sites. And if you are a video person like watching video podcasts, we got you covered there. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel at CrashLit if you want to see the video version of this podcast. And show Joe some love on the gram as well. Follow him at Joseph Burke _15 to see all his content. He's got some great stuff on there that he does just both with from a baseball and a stash perspective. So, Joe, I really kind of want to ask you just, I think that's kind of the thing that really makes you stand out, especially just with that kind of being your brand, is just what made you decide to just dye your mustache pink a couple of years back?
It's actually a funny story. My girlfriend and I, we were in Florida with this amazing Florida family. They actually came to Jacksonville and just showed out with the Stash Squad shirts and just went crazy with pink mustache merch around. But they hosted me for college summer ball for 4 years. And so before I came here last year, we just decided to take a little trip, to Florida and visit. And it was it was pretty funny. She just was like, "You need a gimmick. You need to like start thinking of stuff that you need to just show that you're different than everyone else." And she was like, "You can do something with your beard." And then she just was really into mustaches. So she was like, "What if we just dyed your mustache pink?" And it was just we went with it. We tried it out and we made a little video, and now that video is blown up, and now it's just one of these things that I wear every day of my life. And I honestly, I kind of forget that I even have it until I wake up and look in the mirror, or like I go out in public and Jalen Lee behind me is just watching people walk by and give me looks and like trying to figure out why I have a pink mustache. But it's one of those things where she had an idea. She's so creative and she helps with my content. She's always on me about making posts and trying to get my brand out there. But she's the brains behind the idea, and I couldn't have been here without her. So I'm happy that she came up with the idea.
Well, one thing just being around you a lot is just I'm always seeing how you're always having to make sure, really having to do maintenance on it, whether it's dyeing it, keeping it, especially now it's gotten a bit longer, you keep it curled like you got it right now. So I always do
Oh,
see
yeah.
that process, just of the behind the scenes part of getting to work with you. So can you talk about just the maintenance of just how you gotta, take care of it so it's good on game day?
Oh man, when I wake up, it doesn't look like this. When I wake up, it's fully down to like it's full Fu Manchu down here. When I get up, I just put a little bit of heat protectant in it, let it dry for a little bit, and then we take a little mini flat iron and we just start curling it a little bit, just get the curls going, and then I take the ends and wrap it into the curlers to sit on my face that you've seen when I show up to the field and practice, whatever it may be. Whenever I'm early for the game, I don't want to have it just sitting like here all day because it's going to get humid and hot, and I don't want to have to redo the process. So typically, I just let the curler sit in for a couple hours, and then we put a little bit of wax in it, just depending on how hot it is outside. Because sometimes it's hot out there, and you've seen my mustache fall a couple times where it starts leaning forward, and it looks like scorpion pinchers, just like it looks like it's gonna attack. So yeah, I've got the process down quite a bit now. try to hopefully keep it to where it can just stay curled as long as it can before it gets too hot out. But yeah, showing up to the field in curlers was not on my bingo card, but you know, I think it's funny. I love it. I love taking pictures with them in. I love to have fun with it. So that was all her idea too. We came up with the curlers, the curling iron, all that stuff. So
You even go so far as instead of having your last name Burke on the back of your jersey, you literally just told them put a mustache on it for this year. What made you decide to do that? And was that also Chloe's idea, your girlfriend?
we talked about it. It wasn't more her idea. It was kind of like a discussion with Ray before we got started. It was just one of those things. They asked me if I wanted my last name or do you want a mustache on the back of your jersey instead of your number or your name? And it's hard to get away from number 15 because that's such a family number. And I think for as long as I'm going to play, I'm going to keep number 15 as my jersey number since it runs back in my family for generations. So it's special to wear that number. And obviously, last names are special too, but in this case, I thought it would be pretty cool to just throw a little mustache on there. Hopefully, we can get some with a little more curl on it, but maybe that's a next year thing. But I like it. I think it's cool. It's different for
Well,
sure.
what's really cool about Cosmic is they let you be creative in those ways. I mean, even having the option to have a mustache instead of a traditional number. I mean, we have Nolan Lemire, who's the exclamation point. Johnny LaRosa is a bicep.
Right.
So, and we do triple digits as well. Brantley Cutler with his 316 Bible verse. So, it's what makes
5-0.
5-0.
Yeah.
Yeah, another good one, Alex Koberstein. So it's really cool to see that. But you talk about, though, before I go on, you mentioned just the number 15 and just what does it mean to you and your family? And just why is that number just hold such a special place for your family?
My father, whenever he was pitching in college, he wore 15. I have three older brothers, and whenever like the brother above me, whenever we play together, obviously one of us could only get 15. So always older brother got dibs, but um, you know, it's something that we've all kind of kept in the family. Hopefully, my brother's kids can pass that down, but it's just something special to us to where, my dad's wore it, my brothers have wore it, and then watching them like when I was growing up watching them play, I've always wanted to be 15. And I went down a stretch where I was wanting to be my own number. I wore 22 because I love Derek Jeter and he wore two, but I could never wear two because it was such a small number and I was always a bigger kid, so I could never get number two. So I was like 22. I can have number two and be my own person. So, but now we're back to 15, and I've worn it since college, and that's it was kind of special when I got to college. Both numbers were available, and I kind of had to. I was like kind of picking my litter. I was like, dang, do I want to go my own route and be number 22, or do I want to bring back the family number and be number 15? And I'm glad I chose number 15 because I can't imagine myself not wearing 15 anymore. Fernando Mendoza as well. He wore that. So
And you are big, and you are a big Indiana fan, as we were talking about right before we hopped on here as well. I mean, you're repping the shirt today, the national championship shirt. So
oh yeah, absolutely.
yeah,
You gotta
as
let them know, Crash. Gotta let them know. USC's come to town this year, so
as I've
I'll be wearing it
mentioned,
for you.
as I told you earlier, and as I've mentioned on previously other as all my USC shows, Kurt Signetti is terrified. Indiana will terrify me as long as Kurt Signetti is roaming that sideline.
I think he just
So
terrifies everyone in general. To be honest, I would love to play for that man. If I could play football, I would run through a wall for that man.
same here. There's nothing I obsess over more than maybe honestly like Googling him and just how just obsessed he is with the process. It's pretty insane, but Hey,
Like
he
his
wins.
facial
Just
expressions, I mean,
he
could
wins. Just Google him.
yeah, that is the greatest line I think I've ever heard in my life.
Absolutely. And but back to you now, Joe. You mentioned kind of this, just the significance of wearing 15 and just your family as well as your girlfriend. And just what does their support mean to you as you've decided as you were deciding go down this path of professional baseball, especially the last couple of years since you joined Cosmic.
I definitely would not be here without my family or her. Just to have the support of them, when I told them about this whole cosmic thing, they're like, "What is that?" And I was like, it's something new and it's something exciting, and I I couldn't explain it to them other than just to trust me. I was I was on the verge of hanging it up whenever before Unc called me and before I emailed him. Uh, yeah, I was in a tough spot with indie ball. I wasn't probably going to be able to go back to Michigan, and I wasn't really getting any notice or interest from indie ball leagues at the time. And it was just one of those things where I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. And thankfully, an email to Unc and then a 5-hour phone call later, we just hit it off, and just to have the support of them taking like a risk on me from Cosmic and my family just supporting me and taking a risk into something that's quite honestly the greatest show I've ever seen on dirt. And I'm not saying that just because I play and just because I've seen it. I literally think what we do is the greatest thing on a baseball field. Is so unique, it's so out of this world, and that people that haven't seen it, they definitely need to come see it in person because videos and pictures just do not do us justice. Because as great as our photographers and videographers are, I mean, the best in the business, hands down, when you are in the atmosphere and watching from the sidelines, you're like, oh my goodness, this is unbelievable. But no, but just to have them supporting and allowing me to continue following my dreams and just allow me to be the goofy, and sometimes the competitiveness still takes over in cosmic baseball, but just to have their support and allow me to continue this journey is just something that I will never be able to repay any of them. So yeah, I mean, without them, I wouldn't be here for sure.
You talked about just how just amazing of a show Cosmic Baseball is, and I want to talk about this past weekend when we were in Buffalo for the 4th of July. It was 250 years of the United States of America. 360-degree fireworks show during multiple points of the game, including during the final home run derby. Can you just walk me through what that experience was like for you, just to really just see this just really just be such a highlight moment, just, making history in just the way that we did.
I mean, you'll never see anything like that. We played a whole half inning in the seventh inning with fireworks just going off continuously during our seventh inning rave. And to be able to be on the field, literally at first base, while a pitch is being thrown and fireworks are going off, you're trying not to be distracted by watching some of the fireworks while a pitch is being thrown. Like I caught myself like, oh my goodness. And then odd notice is ball being thrown. I'm like, oh, I got to pay attention. So, uh, no, it was. I mean, like I said, the videos are amazing, and just being able to witness that in person while a game is going on and a home run derby is going on with, like you said, a 360 fireworks show across the entire stadium is something that none of us are ever going to forget. 51 players, I think. I think that's correct. All of us made history, and all of us in the staff from the front office to the ops to everyone a part of our organization, the fans that were there are never going to forget that fireworks show and never going to forget watching a real baseball game go on during a fireworks show. One of the greatest fireworks shows I've ever seen as well. And just to be a part of that on 4th of July and America's 250th birthday was, I mean, I was speechless. I couldn't even, honestly, I had no words at the time because I was just so in awe of what was going on. Like, I couldn't believe this was my life. I couldn't believe, like, this is my job. And to just be a part of it is just something I will never, ever forget, especially with the people around me. It's just amazing.
Well, it's been one they've talked about even before I even got there. Just when I had a call with them, they were talking about just the vision for this show. And then just even the other cool part of it, and I'm sure you'll agree with this, Joe, was just even after that final home run derby, after the winning team celebrated, but before the teams prayed after the game, the show went on for about another 5 minutes, and just everyone, fans, players, staff, everyone just sat down on the grass and just took it in. Like, I think I got to the mound and just sat with D, and we were just there just taking it in. I just looked behind, just everyone just, we just make sure to get the L screen down so it's not obstructing your guys' view, and just how insane that was just to be able to take that in before, we went on with kind of the post game festivities of that weekend.
Right.
But yeah, it was really cool. Another stop that was really, from what we talked about in passing, that I know was really meaningful for you is Louisville, since you played your college ball there. Just what was that like to be back in Kentucky for that weekend?
Oh man, just to have my family out because I live 10 minutes from Louisville, and just to being back home was a good little refresh. It was nice being home, just spend some time with the family, with my girlfriend, and just to have them come to the games and be able to enjoy the games. It was my dad's first time seeing me play live in a couple of years, and I wasn't sure how he was gonna like it, and because it's something new for especially parents, like that only know real baseball, not like the entertainment side of baseball. So to find out he actually liked it and enjoys what I do is a good weight off my shoulder. Um, just to have his support behind me, always my mom, and having my nephews there, it's cool to have so many loved ones there. Her family, my girlfriend's family was there, a bunch of people that I worked with, and like when I do lessons back home, a lot of the kiddos that I gave lessons for were there, and they just lit up whenever they saw me. And just to have a younger generation following you and knowing that they're looking up to you is one of the greatest blessings you can have as a baseball player. Just knowing this kid that I give lessons for is actually watching what I do. And that's something that you always have to take notice of when you're a baseball player because you don't want to do something bad and have that kid look at you while you're doing something in a bad way. You always want to preach a positive and stay positive and have them follow you in a positive manner. So being back home was one of the that was cool as well. It wasn't as cool as this past weekend, but being home was a great time, and just being able to enjoy that with my family and being home in Louisville Slugger and playing on Louisville Slugger's field after being going to so many games and just not being able to be on the field, but now playing on the field was a highlight of my career as well.
The other thing you are really known for is during home run derbies. For those who don't know, in each cosmic inning in the second half of the game, there's a home run derby. So 4 of them, normally based on how many innings are played. JoeMoji is currently the home run derby leader this year. Can you talk about what it's like to be in the home run derby and how it compares to a traditional at bat?
Pressure, that's for sure. No, I mean, uh, the Derby is, it's how do I put this? It's tiring for sure. Whenever you have 45 seconds and you don't start out hot like you want to, you don't hit a few out on your first few swings, you're like rushing to try to hit some, but you want to stay composed and stay locked in on where the ball's being thrown to you. Having a pitcher like Evan and a catcher behind you like Max Varon, both catchers, by the way, on our team, having that rhythm with Evan and having Max behind me just being the best hype man that I could possibly ever think of while I'm hitting is incredible. He, he Evan will throw it and then all I hear is Max. So it's like I have two catchers that I'm so incredibly thankful to have. Um, it's crazy. Every time I get in a rhythm, Max is just sitting there hyping me up, keep going, just counting them with me, and it's just like y- you don't recognize the time. You're trying to. At first, I was always trying to watch the time on the clock, see how much time I had when I started the year, and now it's to a point where I'm just locked in with Evan. I'm trying to pay attention to Evan because I see Max. I know Max is there with me, and he's always cheering me on, hyping me up, and he's counting down whenever I can't hear Unk, he's right there telling me how much time I got. And I couldn't do without those two. I mean, they are great baseball players and they're two of the two of the best catchers that I could think of having on my team. And I would not be able to do it without either one of them. That's for sure. Especially without Evan, because I don't know what it is, but him and I have this click that just I don't know. We just feed off each other for some reason.
I also want to ask you, I mean, you do have the most home runs. So just what's that like to just, know that you're really in a lot of situations since you typically hit in the fifth inning. So the first derby of the game, just, really either helping pull the glow emojis back into the game or helping break the game open in a lot of situations. Kind of what's that like knowing that in a lot of ways, I know I'm not trying to suggest like, you're not a team guy because I know that's the furthest thing from the truth about you. I know how you are and how you play. You're just one of the really selfless and make everything about the team. But just what's that like just when you step up to play and just, you have a good outing and just put the team on your back?
It's it's what you want, It's exactly where you want to be. I love going first, to be honest. I love setting the tone. Even if I have an okay round, which right now it's right around six. So it's like I know being able to set the tone early is something that you want to do. It's something that I want to do. It's something that I take pride in, and having three other guys behind me to trust in, which we have three really good derby hitters behind me, and just knowing that I can help put the team forward to start the home run derby is awesome. Like I would rather be first than second or third or fourth, which I don't mind doing after playing every inning kind of gets tiring on the body, but being able to go first and set the tone is something that you want to do. And to be able to do that for the team is a blessing for sure. And just to have the trust behind me that the other guys behind me are gonna do their job and set the tone as well in the second and third and fourth round is just something that you have to trust in your teammates. And I'm so thankful they trust me to go first to be able to set the tone. And if they say, "Hey, we want you to go last for any reason," I'll do it. But just to be able to go first and set the tone early is a blessing, that's for sure.
Obviously, I'm not your coach, Ray Sensei Ortega, but probably safe to say he seems pretty comfortable with you in that first derby,
I think so.
knowing how he is. So, like I said, not saying anything, but I'd say pretty safe to say you're probably always gonna be the first guy up, especially with just how it is, and especially just seems like your comfort there, especially just coming right out of there. I mean, hell, when you have a good inning, I'm joking. I always joke like, all right, what do you what do you inject, what do you do take this time to make it, let's have
Could
them just go off for like a dozen or whatever. Because you do often hit sometimes 10 to 12 home runs like pretty regularly too, which is pretty insane to see. Like it's dude, I'll just tell you this straight up. Like it's really impressive just see you just crank home run after home run in such a short window of time.
Thank you. It's honestly, I don't even count at this point anymore. Like I'm so locked in with Evan that I know Max behind me is typically counting like that's one, that's two, keep going. Like he's just telling me, so I don't even pay attention. I'm just trying to hit and then turn right back to where I can hit again. So I'm trying to go fast. I'm trying to hit as many as I can. And about those 45 seconds, people don't realize how tiring 45 seconds can be, especially when you're trying to hit every single ball that's being thrown. So, to be able to hit 10 to 12 is really impressive. And I sometimes surprise myself. Like, I'm like, dang, I just hit 10. I thought I hit like six. So it's like just to just be able to do it every game is a blessing for sure. And I love being able to do it.
I'll also point out too, just that for you've hinted at, but I'll just point it out for those who aren't aware. It's not like the home run derby in the All-Star game for the MLB where you got to wait for the ball to fall. It's as soon as you're back and ready, that pitcher's throwing the next ball, and you got to be ready to swing at that. Because once you swing that first one, that's when your 45 seconds start. So it's just rapid fire. There's no like, oh, you got to wait for it to fall. It's just keep swinging pretty much once you start. So just wanted to point that out just to clarify like what it means. And obviously I don't know it since I've, never done one, but just to help those our listeners understand like just why you just come out of that so tired.
Oh yeah, you're literally swinging full speed. You're trying to hit the ball 400 feet. You're just trying to get as many as you can, and by the time you're hitting and following through, I always just try to like whip it around just so I can hit it, not even watch it, and just get back. So just people don't realize how tiring that can be on your legs, on your body in general. So it's impressive to watch not only me but other guys do it. And when I'm not doing it, I watch Sway Lee on our team hit, and I'm like, it's crazy how far he can hit some of them. I'm like, I just catch myself in awe. It's like, wow, we're really we're really doing this. So it's really cool to watch other guys too. So as much as I love going first, it's cool for me to be able to go first and then just watch the rest of the derbies go on, to be honest.
Well, you heard it from the master of the home run derby himself. So that's how it is. If for those of you wondering how it is, you heard it from JoeMoji himself. But anyways, Joe, I do want to have a few more questions for you. And
All right, let's go.
yeah, my next question about you is just kind of what stops are you really looking forward to? I know Indianapolis, just you being from there originally, is one that's up there. Are there any others besides that one? Also, what's making you excited to return to Indianapolis this year after I heard it was a really great way you guys ended the tour last year?
Let's knock out the first question. You said which ones I'm looking forward to going back to or going to.
Yes.
Um, obviously Indianapolis, just because home state of Indiana, and like you said, to end the tour last year, it was honestly one of the great, like, best baseball games we've played all last tour. Just the energy. I don't know if it was just because we knew it was going to be the last tour stop, or I think it was just because the fans showed up and it was loud. The energy, like I said, between both teams, it was competitive. Like, also the series was on the line last year, so I think that's what kind of helped the little competitive nature on both sides. Glow Moji's won, obviously. Uh, but just going back to Indy and being able to play in front of the home state, home crowd, kind of is something I definitely look forward to. And let's see, what else? Where else we going? Um, What other say? Oh, Sugarland. I'm definitely looking forward to going to Sugarland. That was that was a really cool stadium. The center field jumbotron is in the shape of Texas.
Of
Uh,
course it is.
it's awesome. That stadium is so nice. Um, where else? Trying to go in my head down the list of where we're going. Um, we've already been to Durham. That was one of the best ways to start the tour last year. Where else are we returning to, Crash?
I
Besides
think
Sugar Land,
Worcester,
Worcester, Toledo.
yeah, Toledo, and a bunch of new ones still too to come. So a lot of exciting stops, really. I was more just kind of get your sense for like which ones you kind of had like circled as like, okay, this one's extra meaningful for this reason. I guess was really what I was trying to ask you.
Okay, I'd say just for that reason, I'd probably just say Indy and maybe some Toledo and Grand Rapids. Toledo, my girlfriend went last year. Hopefully, she can come again. Maybe she'll maybe she'll come to Toledo and Columbus. Hopefully, but I've got my Michigan host family coming to the Michigan games in Toledo and Grand Rapids. So that'll be exciting. I've got some coaches and players that are going to come to, I think, both those sites as well that I played with in the USPBL. So those are going to be exciting. I am definitely looking forward to going back to Toledo. That was also a beautiful ballpark. Never been to Grand Rapids ballpark, so I'm interested to see how that is. And I'm also very looking forward to going out to like California. I've never been to California, so I don't know what to expect in Sacramento or Fresno, but I'm looking forward to those stops as well. I'm not looking forward to the travel per se, but definitely looking forward to going out there. That's for sure.
Yeah, definitely cool for me to be back in my home state, even though those aren't exactly the area of California I'm from, but still should be a good time.
How
So
far
excited
away are
for
you from those stops?
about 3 to 6 hour, 5 to 6 hours drive from Sacramento, about 3 hours from Fresno. I'm in Southern California, so
That's not too
but it's
bad.
all very different places. California is also a very big state,
You're right.
so but still gonna be really exciting for that one.
Absolutely. I've never been to California, and I'm definitely looking forward to those. I'm definitely curious to see how Fresno is. I've never been there either.
Uh,
So,
I've only really driven through it.
is it beautiful?
It's just there's just it's mainly like I said, I haven't really stopped there much. It's just I've just driven through, so I haven't really stopped much and just
Well, you drove through it. I didn't know if it was like kind of a beautiful scenery or not, but
it's kind of cool. But I mean, you're still on the freeway, so you're just kind of just moving along.
how busy is the traffic out there?
Usually it wasn't too bad, but then again, I was kind of very strategic about what times I was leaving at, so to try to minimize that. But I don't think it's too bad. So hopefully it's not too bad there.
I've seen like Dodger game traffic, so
That's
like
that's more south, like LA. That's
okay,
more the area I'm from, where traffic is a nightmare. So we're not going to like the area I'm from and familiar with.
okay, that's good. But no, I'm definitely looking forward to going back to those places, and Sugarland was that was my first time in Texas, and that was beautiful. So I'm definitely looking forward to getting in front of that Sugarland crowd again.
You mentioned when I was asking you about that, just Glow Emojis are the defending champions from last year, but currently you guys are down 2 games in the season series. So 36 games, the Peppers lead it 19-17. What's got you motivated as we head to St. Paul this weekend?
Ooh, just keep playing ball. Just keep being us. I think I can speak for most of us. We're not really too worried about it right now. We've been playing some really good baseball lately. So the Glow Mojis are hot right now. And I think we're what, like 9-1 in our last 10 games or something like that.
9-1 or like 8-2. But yeah,
So
you
we're
guys are on like a
playing
yeah.
we're like I think we're 7-0
You had a seven
recently.
game
So
you had a seven
yeah,
game win streak after dropping 5 straight.
exactly. So it's one of those things where, it's baseball's up, down, especially our game of baseball. You could be down 10 runs going into halftime, but we could just pull right back in after the derby. So it's one of those things where we just have to keep trusting each other in the lineup, keep hitting, keep passing the stick on, and just keep playing our game. I think we have a really good baseball team. We have a really good defense, and I think I think we'll be just fine as long as we just keep having more fun. We always have more fun on our side.
Well, it kind of leads me into my next question. You may have answered it with that last part, but what's the most rewarding part of just being just a member of the Glow Moji team, like the 24, you and the 24 other guys that you go to war with every weekend?
Yeah, just like I said, we have so much fun, and I don't know what it is. We can goof off with each other. We can also have those serious, like, the in between where we can be goofy and just be ourselves, but we're also, that competitive side will take over to where we are like, all right, we need to lock in a little bit on the game and try to score some runs because we could be down, or we just need to score more runs going into a derby round. So it's just one of those things where we always preach on the Glow Moji side is just to have more fun. And to do that, you just gotta let loose. And I think the more loose you are, the better you're gonna play and the better mindset you're gonna have going into the game. And I'll give Trey and Breland a lot of credit. They have a lot of fun, and those are two really goofy guys, and you never know where Breland's at. So that's
True
also one of
that.
that's also one of the things where, I'll be on deck, I'm hitting fourth, and I'm just like getting ready, and I'm like, I don't even see Breland. It's like, am I gonna go hit or is he coming? And usually by the time I'm about getting ready to go up the hit, he's running in with his gear on. I'm like, I'm always prepared to hit for him, but I know he's somewhere off, noticing that he's about to go hit, but he's just doing his own thing. And I think when
No,
you can watch somebody have as much fun as he does out in left field, and to be able to still perform the way he does is just something that you take notice of, and you're like, wow, that's impressive.
I think everyone notices just whether he winds up behind the plate, is doing pickleball, building some random thing out in left field, or just whatever
Playing
it
with the
is.
cows out there.
Playing with the cows. The one time he ran in with the Peppers for team intros. I think just it's pretty much you have no idea, Joe, how many times someone in my headset on my comms will be like, "What's Breland up to right now?" Like it is maybe the most casual thing that gets asked in my comms that isn't exactly, related to, notifying people about where we need to be or what needs to come next.
No, I believe it. I 100% believe that. Because he is sometimes nowhere to be found. He
That
could
is
be out
so
in left field with a group of fans and you wouldn't even know.
the most interesting man in cosmic baseball. We need to recreate the Dos Equis commercial with him.
100%. That would be a great commercial.
I'm recruiting you to help me with the production of that.
I will. I will. I love those commercials. So absolutely.
Anyways, back to you, Joe. My final couple questions for you, and these are ones I ask every guest who comes on here on Cosmic Confessions. What's the best advice that you've ever received?
Oh, that's a really good question. Best advice I've ever received. Um, you know, I would say the best advice I've ever received is to go out there, like to go out on the field like you're a little kid going out for recess. And that's something that, that I kind of I heard that in college, and you know at the time during college I could be a little sometimes competitiveness will take over and you'll get frustrated. Whenever things aren't going well, your head will spin. You're trying to figure out what's going wrong. You're slamming helmets. You're just in a bad mind space. And to hear somebody say, go out on that field like you're a little kid going out for a recess was something that kind of just took over for me. And I stopped worrying about things I couldn't control. So that was also something that I was told is control what you can control. So you can't control how a play happens, or you can't control the outcome of a game. You can't control a lot of things. So why worry about those things that you can't control? Just control what you can control, which is your performance and how well you impact someone's lives or how well you prepare for the game. So I think to hear those two things was something that I kind of took pride in, especially going into cosmic baseball games, is like, why not run out on that field like you're a little kid going out to recess? Because it is fun. It's so much fun to have 50 other guys with you that are having the time of their lives on a baseball field. Why not enjoy that with them? So I think that's one of the greatest pieces of advice I've ever heard.
And finally, Joe, I'm going to give you the floor here. Is there anything that you want to say to all the fans out there who are coming to a game or thinking about coming to a game? Why should they come to a game this summer?
It's the greatest show on dirt, literally. Why not come to a game? If you are a fan of baseball, if you're a fan of entertainment, and you're a fan of just having a good time, we would love to enjoy that with you. We have the most fun on our side, but in general, as a entire organization, I think we just have this great camaraderie. And I think it's just something that you have to come see in person, to come check out and enjoy with us. And we love meeting everyone after games. We love meeting everyone at the VIP parties. We love meeting people at the block party. So if you get tickets, if you can't get the VIP tickets, come to the block party early. Come check out the Cosmic crew, the flight crew, and come see us. Come hang out with us, and let's just have a good time together. I think it's definitely something that you got to come see in person. I will just say that.
I'll absolutely agree with that. And JoeMoji Burke, thank you again for joining me here today on Cosmic Confessions.
Thank you, Crash. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. So that's going to do it for us here today on this episode of Cosmic Confessions. Big thanks again to Glow Moji's first baseman, JoeMoji Burke. Follow him on Instagram at JosephBurke_15. Subscribe to the podcast, whether it's my YouTube channel for the video version at CrashLit or on one of the audio sites like Apple or Spotify to see what we're up to and who's coming next. And I'll see you all soon on the next episode of Cosmic Confessions.